So continuing from where we had left in the last class, see here, if I want to make the labor budget,
No,
so
will
the
make
thing,
a problem.
what?
Neighbors, no one send the message. I don't know. They have a connection error or
Okay, I somehow am unable to understand what you are saying. So let me go ahead with this one first.
okay.
Your voice is hanging. I sent message on the WhatsApp group also. Can you hear me?
On the WhatsApp.
Yeah, Noel and
Executive
Osama have a
network
problem with the
bandwidth is low. Okay. So now actually I have no remedy for this in that case if this is happening. If it continues, then let me know. Alright. Can't hear you now, it's fine. Okay, let's see. Maybe occasionally these things do happen, but if it continues, then let me know. Then again we'll have to either think of something, or then we'll have to cancel all these classes that I have planned, because that's the only way out now. You guys must be aware of the new rules that has come out. Till 30th we cannot even open Executrain. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if it continues, then let me know. Now going back to this one. Fine. This is where we were, right? Units to be produced 1975, 2350. So in the labor budget, we will start with this 1975 and 2350 like this. Okay. And then hours required. So for this, if you go directly into the question, see here, 2 hours required per unit. Fine. And $10 per hour. So just remember this 2 and 10. Fine. Then once you come here, what you have to do is hours required will be what? 2 hours. So 2 into 2 multiplied by 1975. How much? I think 3,950.
3,950.
3,950 hours, right? See, these are hours.
Yeah.
And here we'll get what? 4,700. Now, wages. So this answer, this multiplied by $10. So $39,500, $47,000. These are the amounts of the budget. So this is our budgeted expenditure for labor for the respective month.
Yeah.
Are we fine with this?
Yeah.
Similarly, same thing is what we need to do for variable overhead, because here also, what do we have? See, first thing is how many units you want to produce. So I want to produce 1975, 2350 and so on. Okay. Then how many hours and what is the dollar value? Again, that you can get from here. Same question. See, 2 hours per unit, and this time the rate is also 2. So what you have to do is multiply this with
Multiply by 2.
Fine. So that will give you 3950 and 4700, and then again multiply by 2. Correct?
Yeah. Okay.
So that is all we have to do.
it.
Multiply this answer by 2. That's it. You will get this one and this one. And that will be your final answer. That is the expenditure allowed for variable overhead. Are we fine with all this?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, see, once I have done all of these things, now since we are discussing this, fine, these are all called functional budgets. Sales budget, production, purchase, labor. So can't we make a budgeted PL and balance sheet? A budgeted
Yeah.
PL. Correct? So we can make that also, right? Here we will have sales.
Yeah.
Then all the expenses. So what is the material cost? What is the labor? What is overhead? We can make all of this, right?
Yeah.
All the expenses, and we can calculate budgeted profit.
Yes, as long as we have this budgeted. Yeah.
What?
We have the numbers. We have the numbers. So
We have
can
the number,
prepare
right? Now, see,
Yeah.
if we can make this budgeted PL, then we can also make budgeted balance sheet. Okay? And now concentrate a little bit. Fine. Budgeted balance sheet. So how can we make the budgeted balance sheet? See, assets, the fixed assets will remain as it is, and we can do little bit of estimation on depreciation. Correct? So that depreciation will be recorded here in the PL. Fine. So see what is happening here is, let me change this. See, this is, let's say this is the point where we are right now. Okay, this is like now. Let me write it now. Okay. So you have a balance sheet as on this date. Today this is the position. Fine. Now going forward, fine, whatever is going to happen, you have already planned all of that. You have already planned. That means in this period, how much of sales will happen, how much of expenses will happen. You have already planned all of that. Correct? So considering this as the opening balance sheet and all the planned expenditure and income, can't we come up with a budgeted balance sheet here? You get my point?
But
like for example, in this actual balance sheet, if you have got fixed asset as 8,000, all right, and depreciation per annum is 1,000. So obviously here also you will expect the depreciation to be 1,000. So that means in this balance sheet, the same fixed asset will be reported as 7,000. Okay.
Boss, we before we expect the budgeted, let's say, operation, sales and expenses, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How this will affect payables? How we expect how much we will make it in account? How much we pay cash? How we know the equity
we are
part?
coming to that. We are coming to that, Bandhu. You are actually talking about, like, you know, one part here which is cash. All right, and currently I'm talking about the fixed asset part. So that is why there is a little bit of like friction between your and my understanding. You are thinking, how will this number be calculated? How will the receivable be calculated? Correct?
Yeah.
I haven't talked about that yet. I have talked about like fixed cost. I am telling you right now, and inventory and all that. Like I have already discussed. What will be the inventory? See here, in this one. See, inventory of raw material is already planned, right? See, closing stock of RM. So you will get closing stock of RM from here. Fine. You will get closing stock of finished goods from here. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So with all of this, you will get the balance of inventory. So see, these two things are clear in our head, right?
Okay.
Now we are left with what? We are left with receivable, payable, cash. Because see, long-term loan will be as it is. Fine. Or again, like fixed asset, there will be, if there is a repayment or any other stuff, so that can easily be planned, right? There cannot be surprise repayment. The bank is suddenly asking, no, you give my money. That doesn't work. Correct?
Okay.
So you already know that in this period we are going to repay how much. Go ahead, Osama. You are saying something.
Yes. Why are you writing the fixed assets on the credit side? The budget.
I'm not writing fixed asset on the credit side. Actually, like, you know, this is liability and this is asset. When I drew this, then only I was thinking that am I doing the right thing or not? Because you guys are used to seeing balance sheet in this format, in like, you know, in a vertical format. This is called balance sheet in the horizontal format. Like, you know, generally we used to make balance sheet like this. This is balance sheet, this is asset side, this is liability side. Correct. But these days they don't make it this way. Now they are making balance sheet like, you know, first you write all the assets and then you write all the liability. So that is how you do it now, correct?
Yes.
So this is just a difference in the format. Okay. This is just a difference in the format. And see, when I'm drawing this line, this is my asset side, this is my liability side. See, this is my asset side, this is my liability side. Okay. Now this whole thing has become little bit dirty here. Fine. But just like, you know, try to keep up with me on this. What I'm trying to say is fixed asset, inventory, all of this is easy to understand. Fine. Now let me make a good balance sheet here where we can discuss all these things. Financial position. Okay. So let's say assets. So in the assets, you have got fixed assets. Currently, this is what I discussed, that we can know the budgeted figure, right? That at the end of the period, what is going to happen? If we have planned for buying new machine, if we have planned for selling, so that we can do. And always remember, we are making what? A budgeted financial position, right? This is
Okay.
the planning, right? There is no compulsion that now you have to bring this figure only at the end. Remember the time where you are standing and when you are doing all this. See, we are standing here, right? This is now. And we are trying to
Yeah.
estimate future. We are trying to see that as on this date, how the balance sheet will look. Fine. Now, slowly
Fine.
we'll start moving from here, this point to this point. What do you think? When we will reach here, our balance sheet will be exactly the same, or will it be differ?
Of course, will be different.
Of course, it will be different. Fine. So
Yes.
that is why don't stress yourself too much that like, but this can happen, that can happen. Obviously, many things can happen. In this 1 year, the company may close. Maybe, like, you will not reach 31st December to make this balance sheet. Fine. But we are making an estimation. So for making that estimation, whatever we need, we already have. That is what is important here. So all the fixed assets can be done like this. For current asset, we have got few elements here. Where is this gone now? Okay. So for current assets, we have got inventory, which we can easily understand from what we have done. All right. From there, we can get this info. Now we have got receivables, we have got cash. Okay. So these two are missing as of now. Fine. Once we get this, our asset side is done. Then let's move on to the liability side. On the liability side, what are the elements you have got?
I have not.
You have got equity, which will obviously be same, or if there is anything planned, you will know already. So no rocket science here. Like today, I'm trying to estimate what is going to be the equity after 1 year. So what am I planning? Am I planning to issue more shares? So I will add here in the current number. If I'm planning to buy back some shares, I will deduct it. Fine. If suddenly something will happen, so obviously today I cannot say, right? So when it will happen, I will see. Are we fine with all this?
Okay.
Okay. This is interesting. Now reserve and surplus. That is why I first asked you, like you guys, to agree that can I make a budgeted PL or not? If I can make budgeted PL, so my current profit plus the budgeted profit, right? That will be my reserve and surplus. Okay. Then long-term liability again is simple stuff. Either it will remain same, or if there is any changes, I will know, which I can adjust. And if there is anything suddenly happening, obviously I cannot put that into my budgets. Now I am left with current liability. And here, what is left for me? In current liability, it is only one thing, that is the
Payable.
current liability, basically payables. Okay. So like mostly these are the items that I am going to get. And now my problem is this. I don't know how to calculate this. I don't know how to calculate this. Correct? Are we fine with this?
So this we can link with the stock we are going to buy, right?
We can, but there is one more interesting thing. See, we have done all of these budgets, right? We have done production, sales budget, we have done production, we have done purchase, we have done labor, variable overhead, right? There is one more budget which is known as cash budget. That that we haven't done yet. So once you do cash budget, all your answers here will be done. Three things are missing, right? Receivable, payable and cash. You will get all of these three from cash budget. Fine. So now see, how many budgets we have discussed? Fine. So we have got sales budget, we have got production budget, fine. We have got material purchase or purchases budget, material required budget or purchases budget. Okay. Then we discussed labor, then we discussed overhead budget. So we discussed all of these budgets. Now I am talking about one more, which is cash budget. Fine. So with the help of all of this, we can make two more budgets here, which is known as budgeted PL, okay, and budgeted balance sheet.
Okay.
So we can make these two. Now this entire folder, all right, this entire folder is known as master budget. This whole thing is known as master budget. Are we fine with all of this?
Yeah.
And now
Oh,
I am
yes.
practically left to discuss only one thing here, cash budget.
Mm.
So are we okay with all of this?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Now, then let's do one thing. Before I again start anything else, let us do one question from cash budget and then I will go in the book. I think that is the best thing to do. Okay? Because like at least this part of the discussion will be over, right? Now, one thing, let me find a question for you guys. 2 minutes. See, this is a kind of a standard question that we can think of. Okay. So let's start from here. See, this is how the information will be given and I hope you understand. Use the red one. Okay. Now see, you are presented with the following forecasted cash flow data. All right. So by that you should understand that see this sales which is given here, these numbers are all what? Budgeted sales figure, right?
Budgeting. Oh yeah.
Actually, it is extracted from this for a period for the organization for the period November to June. Basically now in this what happens, see the opening balance which is given, like basically these two are actual data. Okay. November and December is the actual data and these are all budgeted data. Okay. See, you understand this from here. Prepare cash flow for 6 months from January to June, right? So we have from January to June. Now opening cash balance is 15. So that means this opening balance is on when? Here they have given November, right? So that doesn't mean that opening balance is for 1st November. The opening balance is for 1st January only. So that is the closing balance of December. How do you know closing balance of December? Because you are standing on 31st December. So on which date we are going to make all of this? We are going to make all of this on 31st December. Fine. And we are planning for the next 6 months. Fine. Which is January to June. Are we fine with all this?
Okay. So we will.
These
we
are all
supposed to-
actual data. Fine. And from here onwards, January, February, this is all budgeted amount. Yeah, tell me.
I mean to say, they will not give us the balance as December 31. We have to calculate it from actual and after that go through budgeted, Jan to June, right?
Acha, 1 second, wait. Where is my bag? 1 second, wait. I don't have my headphone. ये क्या नाम है? हमारा हेडफोन काम कर रहा है।
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now tell me. Yes, this is much better.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. What I mean to say,
Hmm.
they will give us the
Yeah.
cash
Hmm.
ending December 31, or we supposed to calculate the ending balance for December 31, and from that ending balance we will use it for coming
Okay.
budgeted Jan to June.
Okay. They will always give you the balance at 31st December. All right. Because there is no way in which you can calculate 31st December balance. Okay.
Which they give us, for this example, they give us this actual December transaction.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Now see, at times what happens, they also get little bit emotional and they forget things. Okay. In this question, they have written that you are presented with the following flow forecasted cash flow data. Correct? For
Yeah.
the organization for the period November to June. So that makes you feel that see, this whole thing is forecasted. Now pay attention to this. Okay, let's say here.
Mhm.
See, if I am saying that you are standing at this point, fine. So
Okay.
this is not forecast. This is before cast. Correct? This will
Yeah.
be forecast, right?
Yes.
So there is no point standing here and forecasting what had happened in December and November. Fine.
Yeah.
If I try to catch the words, then if you are saying forecasted, then that means I am standing here. This is what my point is. And then this whole thing
Yeah.
will fall apart. Nothing will work. Okay. In other decent questions is a dark question, like good question, you will find that they have mentioned that these are actual numbers, actual figures, and these are the estimated ones, planned,
Uh-huh.
budgeted. Fine.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
And they will obviously all the time they'll give you the closing balance here, and then you have to do the maths to find the rest of it. Okay.
All right.
So now let me make this a little bit clear. Now, yes, we have to do the cash budget. Now, see, before I start working on this, fine, let's discuss little bit what is a cash budget. Fine. So I will make
Okay.
a rough diagram and then I will erase it and then we'll do it properly the way it should be. Okay.
All right.
So here, okay, better. See, cash budget is nothing but cash book. Fine. The only thing is that we are doing projected numbers. We are calculating projected number. So January, February, March, fine. So this is how we'll write the 6 months, and then here we'll add all the receipts. So all the receipts of January will be added. All the receipts of February will be added. Fine. Then what we will get here is obviously total receipt. Fine. Then we'll start doing the same thing for payments. So we will add all the payments of January, all the payments of February, and then what we will get here is known as total payment. Fine. Again, one thing for you guys to understand is that we are writing what? Receipt and payment. We are not writing income and expenditure. Fine. Because income and expenditure is accrual concept. Okay.
Uh-huh.
If your salary is due, that is an expense. Fine. And when the salary is paid, that is a payment. So I am not concerned about what is due to be paid and what is due to be received. Fine. When
I'm
I
concerned about actual, right?
exactly cash.
Mm, mm.
Fine. First thing. Second, don't hesitate in writing capital expenditure also. Like for example, you are purchasing machine and paying cash. No problem. Go ahead and write it here. Don't think like this is some kind of PL or something where capital expenditure will not be recorded. We are not making any of that. We are making cash book. Simple. Cash book. Cash comes in, I will write. Cash goes out, I will write.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
Now this is your total payment B. Now what you will do, you will calculate net cash over here. That is A minus B.
Mm.
Fine.
Mhm.
So this will give you that in this month how much extra money you have made, and then you will add this net cash to opening balance. Fine. So this will give you the closing balance of the period, right?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Fine. Now this closing balance here will become the opening for the next.
Yes.
Fine. Then this will become opening for the next. So that is why they will give you one opening balance only. They'll not give you opening balance of all the year, all the months.
Yeah.
Correct. And then you will
Mm.
you will start getting all these totals here, and then you will continue like this. And for the 6 months now you can see what is your expected cash balance. Fine. Now what is the benefit of doing all this? You please don't tell me that we'll be able to make budgeted this balance sheet and PL. Obviously that's not the real use of this. Okay.
May-
This is for planning purpose, right? This is for planning purpose. So see, look at this. We are standing at, I mean, I will remove all of this. I will have to remove all of this. Fine. So that is why I'm feeling bad right now. But anyways, no problem. Fine. Because anyways, I'm going to make this in the fair, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fair thing I'll make. So no problem. See, what is the use of doing all of this? Let me
Expecting how much cash we will get it?
exactly. See, you are like currently today standing at 31st December, fine. And this is what you are looking forward. This is what you see for January, February, March. I'll not go far. Let's say only these 3 months. So this is the
Okay.
closing balance that you have found, fine. Like, you know, the balances that you are getting here. This is the balance for January, February, March, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So when you made this, you got this as answer. 54,000, 35 and 42. Fine. You got these balances. So basically today what you can do is you can plan for an investment. See, minimum is 35, right? So basically today if I invest $30,000 for 3 months, I will not be in any kind of cash crunch, right? Because see, today if I plan and 1st January I will spend 30,000 in investment, what will happen? This will drop to 24,000. This will drop to 5,000. This will drop to 12,000. See, no problem, right? I am still in positive. When you are in negative cash, then there is a problem. And
Mm-hmm.
see, what will you get if you keep this money in the bank? 54,000. You are not going to get any benefit on that, right? So better
Yes.
invest 30,000 today in some short-term security for 3 months. You may make some profit out of this, some interest. Is that okay?
Yeah.
This is the real like reason why we make cash budget. Fine. Similarly, if I can see something like this, like let's say all these numbers are in negative, right? So that means in the next, like, you know, in the next 3 months, the maximum loss or the maximum negative figure that I can see is 54, correct?
Mm.
So now immediately I will try to get in contact with some banks to allow me an overdraft facility, fine, worth 54,000 at least. Like, you know, my limit, you know, credit card, you have limit, right?
Yeah.
So I will try to get a overdraft. I will try to open a current account with a credit facility of around 54,000. Even if I don't have 54,000, the bank will give me that much of money. Basically planning for the forward, fine. Now, this is the main reason, and obviously with the help of this, we can make PL and balance sheet. So that is an added advantage. Budgeted PL and
Okay.
budgeted balance sheet. So that's an added advantage. Okay. This is the
Okay.
main, like, you know, cash budget is done for planning purposes. Fine. Now,
Uh-huh.
coming back to this, I think I don't have to erase it. Insert space. I can do something here. Let this go down. Went down. Yeah. I think this much of space will be enough for us. A little bit more. Fine. Okay. So I think we have created enough space here. We can do our work now. Yeah. Fine. So this is
Alright.
our question. Let's start with this. Fine. 6 months,
Okay.
right? So I will have
Yeah.
to do some like lines and all that. So bear with me on this 2 minutes. Okay, this line will not work. Let me take a yellow line. This one. Okay. This is our send the payment. Okay. This is the payment, then we'll add the net cash opening. Fine. This is the final line. 50 more lines. Fine. This is it. This is all we need. Okay. And then 6 months. Okay. January, February, March, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fine. So this is it. This is working very fine. Okay. So now we can start our calculations here. See, this is January, February, March, April, May, and June. Okay, cash budget for this period. Now one by one, see, we'll have to see here in the question. Fine. They are saying that this is the sales. So what should I do? Should I write sales in the receipt column? Okay, for that, see, we need to read this line. Sales are 40% cash, 60% credit, right? And then they are saying credit sales are paid 2 months after the month of sale. So see, first thing what we need to understand is that these criteria are company based criteria, company based.
Yes.
Right?
Mm.
There is no hard and fast rule that every time you will get these criteria. First thing, okay? So like, you will have to read, interpret, understand what it means, and accordingly you will have to act. 40% in cash, right? So now I'll not take too much of a stress. First, I want to calculate 40% of these numbers. See, from here all the way down to June, I want to calculate 40%. That will be my cash receipt. Easy. Okay. So
But they want for 1 month, right?
they want for 1 month.
Mm.
I couldn't understand, Noel, your question. They want for
This
1 month.
40% is for
Yeah.
just for 1 month, right? For 80,000, 40% of 80,000.
No, where did they say that? They are
Because
saying, yeah,
yeah,
tell me.
the cash budget we are doing monthly wise, right?
Yeah, so I will also do monthly wise. See,
So we'll take
what you are failing to understand is, see, simple stuff. In the month of January, right? Your sales is 110.
okay.
They are saying 40% of that sales is done on cash basis.
Okay.
So in the month of January, how much money you are going to receive? That is the question.
Mhm.
44,000 from January's sale, because see, here you calculated 32, so that 32 you may have received in November, right? Are we making cash budget for November?
No, no.
Fine.
Hmm.
This line means every month, whatever sale you are doing, 40% of that is for cash sale.
Okay.
Are we fine with that one?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So can you guys just keep these numbers in mind? 110, 130, okay, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 80. Fine. Hopefully it will be there now. See here, we need to write cash sale. So obviously this is the cash coming in. In January it was 110. So 40% of 110 will be
44,
40,000. Fine. And in February 130. So 40% of
52,
130 is 52. Then 140,
56,
56. Then
60,
160. Yes, 60. Okay.
64,
64 and
72.
72. Fine. This is the
Mhm.
cash part of it. Now collection from debtors. This is problem. Fine. Collection from debtors.
That-
Because now what we have to understand is this. Actually in this question it is very simple, because they are saying 60% of your sale is on credit and credit sales are paid 2 months after the month of sale. It's very
Yes.
direct and simple. Okay.
Mhm.
So basically what it means is in January you will receive the money for which month?
November.
For November. Fine. So basically now what we have to do? We have to calculate 60% of all the numbers from here till I think April.
Yes.
Fine. Because April's money you will receive in June.
Yes.
Because 2 months of gap is there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Fine.
yeah.
So now let's do the math. 80, 100 and then 110, 30, 40, 50, right? So here it will be how much? You will be collecting in January for November. 48,000, right?
Yeah.
Then here 60,000.
And
Okay.
March 66.
66. Then how much?
Up 120. And
One. Okay. No, I think 120 is not there. One. The 130 is there.
not
Here.
130. Okay.
Yeah.
130
So 130, 40, 50 is
times
what we have to do. Yeah.
78.
78.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
The 140. 130. After the 130, 150, right?
after, yeah. No, 140,
One,
150. So 140 into 60.
140
14 into
into
6.
60, 84.
84. Yeah.
And 150 into 6,
90.
90,000.
Fine. Now pay attention. Wait, before going forward, let me clarify this one point. Okay. As on the month of June, can we calculate what is debtors balance? See, as
Debtor
on
balance.
30th June, what is the due money? Fine. Again, see, I'll go here. Okay. As on the end of June, 60% of June is due. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And 60% of May is also due.
Okay.
Correct? Because that you will receive in July.
Uh,
Fine. So can you do the math? 60% of the total of this, which is 340. 340 into 60%. How much do you get?
204. 204.
204.
Hmm.
So congratulations. Now see, last time we were talking about this only, right?
Hmm.
Okay, 1 second. Let me check. Is this being
No, no. How come 24?
Okay, wait, 2 minutes, Bandhu. Arre. Okay, the recording is going on. Yes, fine. Okay. I thought I
204.
forgot to put this on record. Yeah, now tell me, yes.
Nothing. It's okay.
Is this fine, right? 204?
Yeah.
So see, 3 things were missing, remember, in our projected
Yeah.
balance sheet. So we got receivable, right? Likewise, we'll get payable also, and likewise at the end, obviously, see the balance that you will get at the end here. Fine, this will be your cash balance, the projected cash balance. Fine.
Mhm.
So now let's go one by one. This one is done. Then purchases are paid the month following purchase.
Purchase.
So in the next month you are making the payment, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. So here, see, from December till May, I should copy the whole line: 60, 80, 90, 110, 130, 140, correct?
Yes.
60 will be paid in January, 80 will be paid in February, like that. Okay, is this clear with everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
60, 80, 90, 110. So let me write the numbers first. 60, 80, 90, 110. Then it was what? 30, 40. So 130 and 140. This was payment to creditor, right?
Mm.
Payment to creditors. And obviously here also we can calculate then, right? That as on 30th June, what is the balance which is due to the creditors? 150. This is the due balance. So payables will be 150. Are we okay with this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this we are done with these two statements, correct? The third one, see, 75% of wages are paid in the current month, 25 in the following. So basically in the month of January, you will be receiving or you will be paying 75% of Jan,
And
correct?
25% of December.
25% of December. Fine. While doing all this, take your time, understand, conclude, then do the math, because emotionally some people write here 25% of February. So they are paying advance wages, right? So anyways, this is what we are getting. Now this is what we have to do for the rest of the things. Like for February, obviously it will be 75% of Feb plus 25% of Jan. Okay. So here I think we need to do some mental maths now. See, in January, yeah, we'll start from here. So 75% of January will be what? 12,000. Fine. And 25% of this will be 3. So 12 plus 3, 15,000 in January. Okay. I'll write here 15. Then I will copy paste this whole thing there. Then in February, what are we going to get? See,
15 and 4, 19.
so this
No,
was
12, right?
15. For Noel, 12 you are saying for which one?
For February.
For February, right? So
Just
see,
wait. We are taking 16,000. No.
19.
75% of 16,000, right?
yeah,
For February.
yeah. No.
Mm.
We are
Okay,
taking,
75.
see, for February, 20,000, right?
Oh, okay. For the current. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So 75% of February will be 15,000,
Okay.
correct?
Fine.
And
Yeah.
then you will get 25% of this, which is 4. So 15 plus 4 is 19.
Mhm.
Okay. Then what else have we got? 24. So here 75% of this will be 18.
18,000. Yeah.
18 and 5, that is 23.
Mhm.
Okay. Then here 28. So 21 and 6, 27.
Mm.
Fine. Here 32. So 32 is 24 and 7. 24 and 7. How much?
31.
31.
But if they're asking following month, it actually means the next month, right?
Yes. Okay. So what do you want me to do here? You want me to write February? This is what
Like
you
that,
are
no,
getting.
Chapo.
No problem. Take your time. This is common issue.
Mm.
This is common. So like satisfy yourself, because see, you have to think from common sense also, right? You cannot pay advance wages that cannot be the policy of the company. That cannot be the policy of the company that we will pay 25% in advance every month. Okay. First thing to understand. And then they are saying the payment is in the following month. They're not saying that we will pay for the following month. Read the line. Paid 75% paid in the current and 25% in the following month, means the payment is in the following month. We are not paying for the following month. Fine? Noel?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. So you have to confirm, right? And then we have this one, 36. So this is Notia 27, 27 and 8. How much that will be? 35. So these are the numbers which we are getting, right?
Yes.
Let me take all of this from here. Okay. I want to put it here, right? So 15, 19, 23. Okay.
27.
I think if
27.
I can remove this a little bit.
Yeah, take it a little bit left. Maybe it will work.
Almost there. One more time. Yeah, fine. We can do with this much. Fine.
Yeah.
Wages. This is our wages paid. Fine. And obviously, see, now you can calculate outstanding wages. You can calculate outstanding wages as on this date, right? See, out of 36,
Yeah.
you have paid 27. So 9 is outstanding wages. This can go in the balance sheet. This will go in the balance sheet. Right?
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you add all of this from 16 to 36. This will go in the projected PL.
Bill.
Yeah. Fine. Then we have overhead. So let's see what is the rule for overhead. We are done with this also. Overheads are paid the month after they are incurred. So after they are incurred, they are paid in the following month, next month. Fine. So in January, we will pay for December, and in February, we'll pay for
January.
January. So that is how it is going, right?
Yes.
Where is it? Overheads. Fine. So from 10,000, okay, all the way down to 20. This is what we are going to pay. So 10, 15, 15, 15, 20, 20. 10, 15, 15,
15,
15,
15,
and then
20,
20,
20,
20.
20.
Fine. This is our overhead. Okay. What else have we got?
Dividend. mm,
Dividend are
Overhead,
paid.
the payables also. Right?
Overhead payables, you want to know, Osama?
No, I'm saying we'll keep 20,000 at overhead payables, right?
Exactly. Yes. That will go in our balance sheet. Actually, we are not going to make balance sheet for this one. I'm just
Okay.
trying to create that clarity in your head, so that, see, obviously you guys are not going to get a question like this where you will have to do everything. Fine. See, I'll tell you what kind of question you will get. Watch this. Okay. They will give you all the numbers for sales. So from November till June, you will get all these numbers. Okay.
Okay.
And then they will give you this line. Fine. One line. And they will ask you, what is the cash received for sales in the month of March? One question. That's it. Then they'll move on to the next one. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right. And see, currently I'm just like, this is again a very childish stuff which I'm doing with you guys. normal BCom level work. All right, because see, CMA level work is this. In this whole discussion, I never told you, like till this point, I didn't told you that see, you have to be very careful with this. Why? Because if they have written credit sales here, and then they have given you the same thing, then your entire maths is like, now upside down. You will have to do the whole thing. See, currently, how did you calculate cash sale? Remember cash sale? You simply calculated 40% of this and you are done, right? Now, if I write credit sales, then how will you do the maths? Let's say 80,000 is the credit sale in the month of November, and this is the rule which is mentioned here. This is the rule. Now I am asking, what is the cash receipt from cash sales? Receipt from cash sales in the month of November. Tell me quick.
So that will be 20,000 is the credit sale.
Yeah.
So
Again, Malish, sorry, can you repeat it?
Okay. I'm saying if they have given you credit sales in November,
Uh-huh.
80,000 is the credit sales. All right. And then
Okay.
that adjustment number A is given. Fine.
53,333 will be cash sales.
Kind of, I think you are right, Osama. Fine. If they have given sales 40% of cash, and now the question is, what is the cash collected from cash sales in the month of November? Then how will you
Divided by
calculate?
the percentage.
Divided by the percentage multiplied by 40%.
By a percent. Yeah.
Correct? So I
Yeah.
think 50 something Osama was saying, you will get that answer. Now listen to me. Fine. That is correct answer, but listen to me carefully. See, while doing these kind of questions at CMA level, fine, you have to be very attentive. Okay. You have to read the question, and according to question, you have to develop, you have to think what you want to do. Fine. Don't go with a preset mind that if I see something like this, I will do something like this. If you are
Yeah.
doing that, then then this will be difficult for you basically. Fine. Now, what are the variations that can happen here? In the question, they will ask, what is the cash collected from cash sales? But it will be written in such a way that you will not understand, and you will do the entire maths and give them the number. See, okay, 1 second. Here, this number that I have calculated, two numbers are here, right? Like let's say for the month of March, there are two numbers, cash collected from cash sales, cash collected from debtor. Fine. And if I add these two things, what will I get? 6, 6, 12. One goes this time, 12. So 122, I think, is what I will get. All right. So from this one question, they can ask you three things to calculate. They can ask you to calculate cash from cash sales. They can ask you cash collected from sales. So that is 122. They can ask you cash collected from credit sales or customers, or something like that. So what they are asking you to calculate 56, 66 or the total 122. If you are not confident, fine, you will not read that much, you will not get into the word, and whatever is easy for you, you will quickly calculate that, and you will try to feel that I have done my part, I'm done with this question. So attention, fine, being in the moment and your confidence, two important things, without which it will be difficult. Okay. Now let's get back to this overhead visit. Dividend are paid 3 months after they are declared. So see, 3 months after they are declared, right? Here the dividend is declared in December, so it will be paid in March.
Yes.
And this is declared in June, so it will be paid whenever, I don't care. So in the name of dividend, I have got only March 20,000.
Yeah.
Right? January, February, March. So this is like 20,000 dividend. Okay.
Yes.
Then what else have we got?
Capital expenditure.
Capital expenditure. What have they given us for that? Capital expenditure is in January and in April, and here they are saying paid 2 months after it is incurred. So this
Yeah,
will
so
again be paid in March and this will
March
again be
and
paid in
June.
June. So 30, 40,
Yes.
March and June. So March 30 and June 40. Okay. Capital expenditure. Let's see, do we have anything else here? The opening cash
Opening
balance
balance.
is 15. So that will come here, right? Opening.
Hmm.
This is the net. Then we will be adding the opening balance. So this is 15. And then this will become our closing.
You added one more also, some overdraft facility or something.
What?
There is some overdraft
Yeah,
facility.
I'll do that. I'll do that. But 2 minutes.
This company need a lot of money.
These days, like all the companies are needing money. Okay, let me put this little bit down because I think I'll have to adjust 2 more lines over here. Fine. See, this will be total payment first. Okay. This is B. And then we'll calculate net cash A minus B. Let me draw one more line.
We cannot do it one line.
See here actually we can do anything, correct?
Hmm.
Because currently, like, this whole thing is in our hand, right? In your exam, like for this what do you call it, CMA, you don't need to do anything because they are not going to ask you to do all of these things. Fine.
So this is not a live CMA question. Maybe in part
No. This is not.
part B.
Maybe part B. Wait, let me see. This one you are trying to say?
Yeah. This whole question.
No,
No.
I'll.
Like
Okay.
after the MCQ, there is a second part.
Oh no, you can't get it there.
No?
That part is like 5 marks theory, small, many questions.
Okay.
Right, because see, this is not done. If they give you this question, first of all, the whole question will take too much of time in the formatting part. See, teaching wise, I don't think I have done too much today. Fine,
Yeah.
because there is one concept. We are doing calculation only, right, over and over again.
So,
Basically, I'm teaching you calculator now. So there is not too much. And now imagine if this question comes in part B and somebody who has done everything and has skipped this one. It's not like fair with him. He will lose like straight away like 50 marks, like half of this is gone. He will come out crying from the exam room. Not good. Now see, the
That
managing
is
director
not
is pleased with the above figure as they show sales will have increased by more than 100% in the period under review. In order to achieve this, he has arranged a bank overdraft with a ceiling of 50,000 to accommodate the increased inventory level and wage bill for overtime work. Fine. So currently he has got a credit balance of 50,000. Fine. Now in our maths, if we will find a negative balance here, fine, in these columns, if I will find a negative balance of more than 50, then I will be telling to the manager that, see, there is a problem in your like cash flows. You should increase this level. So don't be too happy with the increasing. He's 100% satisfied. It was mentioned, right? Somewhere, yeah. Oh no, this was like, sales will increase by more than 100%. So he was very pleased. See, he's too much pleased. So we'll ask him not to be too pleased. Okay. And if it is okay, if everything is under control, if the maximum negative balance is less than 50, good for him. He should be pleased then. Correct? Now, see, we are done with this whole question. Okay. Everything from here also have been placed and this is what we are getting. Now it is only manual work. So we'll do only for January, right? 44 and 48. We are going to get what? 92 here.
Mhm.
Then the total of this is what? 60, little bit up. Yeah. 60, 15 and this will be what? 85, right?
85.
So
Yeah.
The balance will
85.
be 7.
The balance will be positive 7,000 and
Yeah.
15 we already
22.
have.
22,000.
Right? So at the end we'll be getting 22,000 here. This will become the opening. Fine. and this is how we'll continue. Now see this
Yeah,
balance
let's
here.
continue because this other balance here, it will be too much negative. I don't know, again, we use this 50. I don't know. I tried, I reached to, without 50, I reached to minus 156.
So it will be something like that. I also think so. All right. So basically we'll be
Okay.
telling them like, not to be too happy with this. Wait, let me show you the answer of this. Share screen. I think here we have, right? This was the question that we were doing. And I think from here I can go down. So see first 22. Do you see this one?
Yeah, 22,
Okay. This
20,
one here. This one here.
36,
So like,
50,
156 at the
83,
end.
83, 156. Yes, I reached to that.
You got this till here, right?
Yeah,
Great,
yeah.
good. So
But
150,
in answer here, they didn't count for this 50 credit balance, or it's supposed to be additional stage.
which
No, just a
15?
comment. I think it's a comment.
Which
Please.
15? Okay, that 50 that, okay, fine, I understood. You are talking about this credit balance, right?
Yes,
If
yes.
you read, they are saying that currently we have agreement, see, arranged with a bank. So we
Mm.
have like, basically it is like, you have a credit card which has got negative 50 balance in it. Like that is the
Yeah,
limit till
yeah.
which you can go.
Okay,
Fine.
I mean
This
to
is what it
say,
means. Yeah.
yeah, but if you come down,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and the answer,
Mm-hmm.
okay, here, for example, okay,
Yeah.
we reach in March here, we have negative
36.
36,000, all
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So here, they didn't show that we use this credit balance 50. They transfer this 36 in April.
April. Yeah.
Same I did. I mean to say they didn't highlight the effect of this 50
Okay.
thousand credit
Okay.
balance.
Okay. Listen now. Listen to this, Bandhu. Okay.
Uh-huh.
See, here, like, the story is something like this. Let's say you have a credit card. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the limit of that credit card is 50,000. So if you need, how much money you can take out from there? Maximum
50.
50. All right. Now listen to this. The question is telling us to find out, fine, that is that credit card enough for you? Can you handle everything with that credit card or not?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are
Uh,
doing this estimated maths just to figure
mm,
out that how much of credit do you need? So here
uh-huh.
I see that you need 156,000 of like, balance on your credit card. 50,000 will not help. That's
Yes.
why we are not adding it here. If I do what you are saying, then my final answer will be 106. Fine. And then I will tell you that you need to increase the level of your credit by 106.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's the
Okay.
same thing, right? This way or that way?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. I
Okay.
get.
So that is what this is. And I think we have discussed how can they give you the questions. Fine. Now few
Yeah.
more maths. Let's do some imaginary stuff with this. Fine. See, overall, you need to understand how this plus minus goes, right? So that's why we have done all of this now. Okay. And here
Mm-hmm.
is our like explanation that we did in the beginning. Now, drawing a line over here. And now, how else can they ask you this question? Like how much more can be done in this? What are the possible variations? Okay. So for that,
Mm-hmm.
see in this, like it was a very simple, straightforward question. You can get something like this. Sales is given and they'll give you cash sales is 20%. Fine. So obviously 80% is credit sales. Okay. And customers are allowed 2 months. No, let me put that 1 month. Fine. 1 month credit. So we are giving 1 month
Credit.
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 Okay. Full stop. 60% of them pay on time and remaining in the following month. Remaining like pay in the following month. Okay.
Mm.
Now I am giving you these numbers. Sales for Jan, Feb, March, April, okay, is like
Mm.
this. Let's say 80, 90, 100 and 110. This is 100, right? No, this is only 10,000. 110. Fine. Calculate total receipt. Okay, I'm not writing that much now. Calculate total receipt. Fine. That is cash plus from the debtors, everything. Okay. In April. In April, how much money you are going to receive? Tell me that.
In April, how much?
Money we are going to receive.
Okay, 100,000 times 80%, 88,000 feet multiplied by 20%, 52,800 plus 100,000
मेरा पैक दो ना जरा.
multiplied by
अच्छा ठीक है
8%.
बैठो बैठो. अच्छा यहाँ से दो.
84,800.
84,800.
Mm.
1 second, I'm
Yeah, go ahead, do the maths. I will see his 84,800.
No. Shit. Wait. April.
70,
Because I
75
forgot
kg.
something. No, 1 second. No, 1 second.
98,800 I have answer.
You have got how much,
90
Osama? 90?
98,800.
8,800. Okay, I'll check.
1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
90,000. Yeah.
8,800. So fine.
You are talking about cash plus debtors, right?
Yeah, complete total.
All right. Total. So just wait. And this number
86,000.
Okay, Noel is saying 86.
February. Okay. I will get sales 90,000 times 80%. Okay. Percent 28,800 March 100,000 multiplied by 80% fees 60% 48,000. Okay. April بقى April 101 20% 22.
Go ahead, Bandhu. You know, for the time being, I also don't know the right answer unless I solve it. So,
Okay. 28,800 plus 48,000 plus 22,000 98,800.
okay, so you are also getting 98,800. Fine. Now
Yeah.
let's see what are we getting here. Fine. First of all, see, 60% of them means customers, right?
Yeah.
Fine. So we are talking about the credit customers who will pay. So 60% of the credit customers. See,
Yes.
the calculation will be like this. In the month of April, okay, first of all we will get 20% of April itself,
Yes.
right? So 20% of April is 110, so we'll get 22,000 from here. That is it, done. Plus now it says 60% of them pay on time. So on time means 1 month credit.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is like, March. So how much of March money we are going to receive in April? The answer to
48.
that will be, see, first of all, 100 is the sales in March, right?
Yes.
Out of which 80% will be credit.
Yes.
Out
Now,
of which 60.
out of this 60%,
Yes.
correct?
Mm,
Out of
yes.
this 60%. So then you will get some number. I think
Mhm.
Bandhu was saying how much? 80,
48.
48.
48.
We are getting
Mm,
22 here. We are getting 48 here. Okay.
yes.
And then the last one is from
February.
February, right? So obviously
20%
here again we'll do 90,000 into
times.
80% first,
Yes.
Yes.
correct? And then we do
Yes.
40%
40%.
of this. Yeah. So here you are getting
20,
how much?
28,800.
28 here. Fine. So I think then this was the answer, right? 98,800.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So fine. Great. You two guys have
See?
done good. And 86, I think 86, how did you get, Noel? So I hope, Noel, now you understand, right, where you went wrong with this.
Yeah.
Mostly I'll tell you what happens. People forget this one. You may
Yeah.
like directly calculate on 100 or do something like that.
Mm.
Fine. And all of you, please pay attention now. This is generally not how I prefer to solve it. If you are okay with this method, I'm fine with it. Fine. I'm just like, trying to give you another angle to look on this.
Please
This,
don't make any equation, huh?
no equations, no equations. This I find is little bit difficult for me. Fine. Like, this 80-40. So what I do is in the beginning, I do like this. See, sales, they have said cash sales is 20% and
Mhm.
credit sales is 80%.
80.
Fine.
80%.
Then they are saying 60% and 40%.
Yes.
Fine.
Mm.
So see, this 60 and 40 is off this, right? This
Yeah.
60-40 is for on this one, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
And that is why every time when we were doing the maths, first we had to calculate 80 and then apply the 60, correct?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Why not calculate this percentage directly on the sale? Fine. 60% of 80 is 48% and 40% of 80 is 32%. So basically now what it means is 20% of the sales I will get in the same month.
Mm.
Okay. Same month. 48% of the sales. So total, right? 32% of the total. So now here when I will do the math, it will be like this. See, it will look like this. I asked you to calculate for April, right? Let's say for March, I'm doing the maths for March. So it will look like this. 20% of March plus 48% of 1 month back, February,
Mhm.
plus 32% of
Then
Jan.
Jan.
And then I will just drag, if you want
Yeah.
April, it will, see, this is 1 month forward, everything will be 1 month forward. 20% of April plus 48% of, see, after
March.
February, March, plus
Uh,
32% of after Jan,
Feb.
Feb. So like, basically in Excel, the way we write and drag, so this is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
actually this is not important for you guys because they are not going to ask you to do it for 5 months. You have to calculate for any one of the months, right? But in the normal class, I ask my students to make this and take 2 minutes. Keep your pen, think about it. If you are 100% satisfied, then just drag. You will get for all the months, right?
yes.
You don't have to think too many times. Whatever thinking you have to do it on the first line and then just simply drag. Okay? So no equations,
Okay.
Osama. Fine. So this is like, this is what it is. And now I hope with this, now we have got a little bit of idea about this entire budgeting thing. How we start from
Yeah.
point A and slowly one by one, how we reach to the final. All right. And like, then you will get the entire like budget for the month, for the next budgeting period, mostly a year, right?
Yeah.
What is the
All right.
expected cash balance, what are the expected figures in between each and every one of them. Okay. Fine.
You looked at the book, it was very difficult. I just,
In the
went-
book, actually what they have done is like somehow they have avoided like these numbers and all that. Fine. And actually in the book, when I read, what I feel is that it is for someone who already know all these things.
I got
So,
scared.
Yeah, so when you read and like, you will be like, acha, yes, this I know. If you don't know anything, I think you can't learn anything from the CMA book. You can just recall, acha, yes, I know this. I have read it somewhere. So
Yeah.
fine, yes, I'm okay with this part. As I always tell you guys that it is a syllabus book. Don't get too excited with that. Fine. Now, hopefully we have covered this budgeting part end to end. All right. So in budgeting, you have got nothing more than this. So let's do a recap. See, first we started budgeting. We did this three cases, that the maths that you will get, either it will be of case 1 or it will be like case 2 or case 3. Fine. Then we talked about the theory of budgeting, like how we have to start from sales budget first, then production. We cannot make production first, then sales and then labor. We cannot do it that way. So there is a way in which we have to do the work. Then how that work is done, we saw one example also. Okay. So we did the sales, production, and one by one, then we found everything else will start falling in place. Then we did a small discussion where we felt the use of another budget. Fine. We did a discussion about budgeted PL, budgeted balance sheet, what was missing there. Okay. How all of the missing figures can be calculated through cash budget. Then we did an example of cash budget also. And like this whole thing is master budget. We did one question with cash budget. Now,
I have a question here.
okay,
about this
one
master-
second. Just I'm like over with
Finish
this.
or like
Yeah, what
okay.
I'm saying is with cash budget, fine. We are almost done with all the kinds of budgets which are there, and this wraps up the whole discussion. Fine.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
there is no point doing more questions like this. Fine, because you are not going to get a full question like this. You will we'll try to find this kind of question, 5 lines, and then you have to do one maths. You are done with it.
I just
Okay.
want to ask one thing.
Okay, now
For
one
this
by one.
labor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Labor.
Bundu, you can go first. Or should I first?
No, it's okay. Well, my question is, I just remember that master budget, we call this word when we talk about the capacity and when we called about normal and normal capacity or theoretical or master budget. I'm right or I get just very confused?
I think you are a little bit getting confused with something, because the master budget is actually the end result. You put everything in one place, that is master budget. Fine. If I'm asking you, just give me the sales budget. So that is sales budget, one element. Fine. But when I'm asking you to prepare this whole thing, fine, where you will be giving me the PL and the balance sheet also budgeted, then this, one thing ties everything right in it. Okay. So that is known as master budget. And actually, if you look at this one, see the question that we did, where is it? See these numbers that you have here, see sales. So these numbers are coming from sales budget. Purchases, these numbers are coming from purchase budget.
Yes.
Right? Wages are coming from the labor budget.
Yes.
Fine. So actually, I could have, since I didn't have the information, otherwise we could have done a cash budget for this question only.
Yes.
See, this one that we did. Here they have not given us information about the creditors and the debtors, how the payment is being done. Correct? If they would have given us that also, in this one question only, we could have done the entire thing. Okay, and that entire thing combined together is known as master budget. Fine.
Okay.
I will show you an example of master budget now. Will not make it. There is one already made. I'll just show you that. Fine. So that your doubts will be cleared, Bandhu. Let's
No,
take
I
Osama now.
believe we talk about master capacity and mix it with master budget or something. I don't know.
Maybe, but it's not about I'm not saying that you are having a doubt on what I'm saying. Okay, don't worry. I'm saying just if I show you one example, all of this will settle in well. Fine, that's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
hold on.
No problem. Now
I-
next, Osama, yeah.
Yes, my question was just like, but it clarifies on some part here that from the sales, they can obviously ask interlinked questions, right? Like from
Yeah.
there, give us sales information and ask to calculate wages,
Hmm.
probably. So it's all interlinked, right?
Interlinked, it's all interlinked.
Yeah.
From sales, we will get to production, and from
Yeah.
production, we can go everywhere.
Okay.
Okay, that is something which is clarified here.
Yeah,
this
yeah. When
one.
you mentioned that the wages are
Yeah,
there. So.
yeah. From sales, production, and then from production, you can make anything.
Mhm.
Fine.
Yeah.
So now, as promised, I'll show you one example of master budget. Fine. 1 second. That is in F2 book. 1 second.
So budgeting overall is not very difficult.
No,
I
it's
was
not
always
difficult.
scared of budgeting.
The way it is like, written in the book, that is little bit horrible, because now they will add,
Life.
yeah. They'll add also, there are many more things also to it. Fine. So anyways, once now I'll do the reading. Now everything in the book will also make sense to you. Fine.
Yeah.
Because without knowing this, if I directly take you in the book, it will be like I am reading and you guys will be sleeping.
Somehow, yes, definitely.
Somehow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let this come up. Okay. So I want you to show master budget. Where will it be? Chapter number this is 393. Okay. Where, how can I do this from here, right? Share. See, is it shared?
Yeah.
So yeah, now I can see. Okay. See, first of all, the master budget consists of budgeted statement of PL and budgeted statement of financial position. Fine.
Mm.
And then they have given you an example. So here, see, statement of financial position as at 1st April. This is like, the budgeted statement they have created. Cash, 4,300, receivables and all that. Now, if you go ahead, go up on this, finished product, raw material, all of this is required. Now they have given you all of that information. They have given you the current PL and balance sheet, and then they have given you all the information, and then they want you to calculate all of this. See, first part, they want you to do sales budget. Fine. Then the production budget, then the plant utilization, direct material, direct labor, everything. So one by one, you will start making all the budgets. Fine. And finally, you will end up making, see, the master budget where cash budget, financial position, all right, and the PL. The PL must be done already. Yeah, here it is. See, the budgeted statement of PL. Fine. So this is your net profit here, 88,470. If you remember, in reserve and surplus, I told you the current profit plus this profit. Fine. Let's see in the reserve. retained profits working 9, 143,720, right? So in there, see, this is the brought forward profit and then profit for the year 88,470. So that is what we get here now. Fine.
Okay.
So like, this is what it is. I
Alright.
think what I can do is I will extract these 4-5 pages from this question and I will send this to you guys so that you can just like, be comfortable with this master budget kind of thing. See, if you are okay with this, then you will find the text which is written in your book easy for you to understand. Because
Alright.
like, see, you can see already that the numbers are so difficult. Imagine if I have to explain the same thing without numbers. It will be horrible. Fine. And that is what they have done in the book. Without numbers, they want you to understand all of this.
Okay.
So that is why this book looks little bit difficult and awkward to us.
No, don't let us go through why it's not horrible. Why it's horrible, okay? Because a lot of reasons. Okay.
Yeah.
Let
Okay.
us pass this. It's horrible, but without reason. Okay.
Okay, no problem. No problem. So
All right.
fine.
All right.
Then let us keep it till here only, because now see the remaining things. Fine. What are the other things? Now in budgeting, let's stop this. Yeah. Like, in budgeting, how can you come up with all the numbers? You need very simple, like small numbers to finish this whole thing, right? Like for example, the one question that we did. Let me show you that. Share screen. Let's go here back. Fine. We did this one. It all started with, like, the budgeting process is starting from here, right? Okay, this was like case study 1, 2. There was a question. Where is it? Yeah, this question. Fine. See, this question that we were talking about. Fine. 3, 2, 1 and all that. See, first of all, forecast sales. So you got these, you want to have these numbers, right? 19502275. Now see, this is the sales. From where, how did you get these numbers? Fine. Now we'll be talking about theory of budgeting. How do we get these numbers, from from what math and what procedure to be used? See, two things: sales and production. Whichever is less, demand and production, whichever is less, that will be our budgeted production, correct? Demand and production capacity, whichever is less, that is what we will take as our expected units, correct? If 20,000 units could be sold, but we can produce only 15, what will be my projected production or
15.
projected sales? 15 only, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how to find out these numbers? There are two methods. Like, there are many methods. We'll do that in the book. Fine. But like, a few things which are easy to understand. See, there is one approach which is called top-down approach. So from the top,
down.
yeah, it will come all the way to the down. Then there is bottom up. Okay, two methods. So top down approach actually tells us that the top level management will decide the number. Like for example, this basically means that, like, you already know the hierarchy of management, right? This one, the strategic level, operational, tactical level and operational level, remember? So now these guys will decide the number. Fine. So your strategic level department has decided that the whole market is increasing by 10%. So our sales should also increase by 10%. Fine. So they will come up with a number that next year our sales should be so many units. Now that number will, like, will travel from the top and it will get fragmented. Fine. While coming down. So if they have, let's say, 4 departments, so it will be divided into 4 parts. Then again, every department has got 5 sales executives, so it will be divided on them. And finally, the most lower level of the sales guy will be informed that this month your target is so much of sales. You have to sell this many units. Fine. Sounds like, okay, here it will not sound familiar. Maybe you guys are not from sales. Otherwise, it will sound familiar.
No, it's familiar. It's familiar.
So, So you understand, this is like,
Yeah.
top down approach. Now see, advantage and disadvantage of this. Advantage is that it is easy. There is no meeting, there is no discussion. Like, it once it is decided, now only division is being done. Fine. So it's a very clear cut kind of approach. It consumes less time and hence less money, less cost. Fine.
Mm.
See, you are going to your office for 8 hours, right? Now in 8 hours, if you have to attend 2 meetings for 4 hours, that entire day is wasted. You are getting paid for that day. It's not that you are being called on a Sunday or on a Friday to have a meeting and discuss the budgeting, and on the rest of the day you will do your work. It's not like that, correct?
Yes.
In your
Yes.
normal office time you will do the discussion. So how many, like if 10 people are doing discussion, it means 10 people's hours are being wasted, which are going to be paid by the company. That is why they say that it's a costly affair or it's a non-costly affair. Fine. So top bottom is a non-costly affair. It's not that costly because the numbers are being what do you say, thrusted on you. There's no discussion from your side. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
advantage is it is quick, it is cost effective. Fine. Disadvantage is that obviously nobody will take this normally. You will not feel good about it. As an employee, you will feel that you are being forced to do something. Maybe it is beyond your capacity, or you will have 110 stuff. There will be problem with compliance. Do you understand? Fine.
To
You are,
accept it.
yeah, you are told that this is what you have to do, and then instead of doing it, you will start looking for excuses because actually you are not happy with that number. Fine. Okay. So these
Yeah.
are the normal issues. The other one is bottom up approach. So in bottom up approach, what happens? Every individual guy will be asked, okay, how much sales you can do? Okay. So like, they will give their numbers. I can do this much of sales, this much of sales. So add all of that. That will go to the assistant lead, what do you call that? Team leader. The team leader will like, give that number to the assistant manager. So our assistant manager will add all the numbers which he is getting from the teams which are under him. So maybe if he is operating with 10 teams, 10 team leaders will give him some number. He will add all of that. He'll give that to his manager. His manager will add all the numbers he's getting from assistant managers. This is how the numbers will start from the bottom and it will move up. Okay. Bottom up approach, simple. Okay. Now advantage, disadvantage. Advantage is there will be 100% of compliance. Now you cannot go back on that. You gave the number, nobody forced you, right?
Yeah.
So there will be no problem on the floor, no problem managing people. Everybody will be happy with it. Now disadvantage, two major huge disadvantages are like time consuming, costly affair. Okay. And the second one is slacks. This is called slack. All right. If you can sell 12,000 units, you will say 10 only. Fine. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. All right. If you can do the like if you can do the production in $10,000, like for buying material, if you need 10,000, you will say I need 12. Why take chance? Because you are saying 10, and now if you are like actually spending 10,200, you will be penalized for it. Why 200 more? You only said 10,000, correct? So to avoid that, you will at every level there will be a slack. Okay. The executive, sales executive will add some kind of slack. Then the team leader, he will get total, let's say 50,000 they are saying. This team leader will say 45,000 to his boss. Correct?
Yeah. Everyone will price every side.
Yeah, everybody will try to adjust some kind of margin for themselves. And if I'm saying 45 and I do 50, that is good, right? And if I say like 50 and do 45, then I'm getting punished for the same stuff. So why becoming Tarzan here? Why trying to be Superman? Do what is normal. So these are the two issues that we face in these kind of two different methods. Okay. Now, when we'll open the book, when we'll turn the pages, we'll find many things. Okay. So we'll like all of that we'll discuss. Fine. But
Okay.
overall, without touching the book, these are the main points which we had to discuss about it, about budgeting. Okay.
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 So
Last
that
question, because you show me this 5 pages. Manish. Last question. Okay. Mentioned in the book with which you shared now,
okay.
master budget is budgeted financial position and BL and cash budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I will
From
share those files, the pages that I showed you. All right.
yeah.
So from
But
there,
my question is,
yeah.
they add cash budget,
Yeah.
okay, to BNL and balance sheet,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
That mean cash budget instead of a statement of cash flow.
Cash budget and a statement of cash flow are two different things, completely different things. A
Okay,
statement of cash flow is about past, what has happened. And cash budget is we are projecting in the future what is going to happen.
So we are not prepare statement of cash flow for budgeting, and instead we make cash budget.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I get it.
Okay.
Mesh.
Okay.
That's it.
Fine.
All
then.
right.
So that's it for today. Acha, fine. See, important stuff. 1 second. Wait. See, can we do a class on Monday?
Yeah.
Fine.
And for me, I'm okay. I'm talking about me. I'm okay.
Fine.
So not on Saturday, on Monday, huh?
No, because now wait. See, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday we'll have no classes. Okay. Eid will be either on Saturday or on Sunday.
Yes.
No, Sunday, inshallah. Sunday.
Inshallah, fine. But see, point is like, after Rosa, it is difficult. Like after fasting and then again iftar and then coming and taking
Yeah,
class.
yeah.
So listen now, Monday we can have one class. We can have one class on Wednesday, one class on Friday. So we can add 3 extra class in this lockdown period from 6 to 9, 3 hours. This will
Okay.
bring us back in the game. Time is running fast. We have got
Yeah.
1 month and we have too many things to cover.
Yes.
So can we do these 3 classes? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 to 9.
Okay.
Fine. Noel,
Yeah, fine.
fine?
Yeah.
All right, fine then. This is the plan for this lockdown till 30th. Fine. That's it
Okay.
then. Thank you guys.
You'll share this, right?
I will share. Yeah, I will finalize this and send this one
Oh,
again.
oh,
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
oh.
Thank you. Have
Good
a
night.
good,
Good night.
good night, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.